Hi everyone, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves UGB here on FlossTube, but also over on Instagram and Etsy. Welcome to the Sunday morning briefing. It is Sunday, November the 21st, and again I forgot to look up where we were in terms of numbers of floss tubes. Somewhere in the mid-50s, I think. That'll do. Somewhere in the mid-50s. So, how has everybody's week been? It's been just fine and dandy here, actually. Nothing to report, which actually at the moment is quite a good thing. I've still been busy. I've managed to do a bit more stitching this week. I've managed to catch up on some of my FlossTube favourites. I've watched a couple of episodes of Mitten today. I must have missed one somewhere along the line. I watched Joy-Filled Stitcher. I've caught up with Brenda and Laura. I've been watching Made by Michelle McGraw. All my normal kind of favourites, my normal comfort people. Flossabilities I watched as well. Lauren's a fantastic full coverage stitcher. She does other stitching as well, but she's been really working on these full coverage projects this year. And it's been amazing to see, and she's finished one of them. And when I first started watching her channel earlier back in the year, I thought that I wanted to be a full coverage stitcher as well, and I really tried very hard to be one, and it just wasn't for me. So I've decided that I'm living that particular part of my stitchy life vicariously through Lauren. So go and have a look at her channel, it is amazing. I have got quite a bit to share with you today. I've got some things to show you. I've got a finish. I'm well on the way with a couple of other projects. As always, I've got some haul. I've got some things to tell you about that I've ordered, that I'm just excited about. They won't be here for quite a while, but I'm excited to tell you about them. So let's crack on. The first thing that I've got is a finish. And this is my finish. This is called Red Scissors by the SnowFlower Diaries, and it was a PDF download on Etsy. Let me come over this side. I seem to be getting a bit of a glare from the big light. I've had to put the big light on. So, and it's one of those energy saving bulbs, one of the sort of first generation of energy saving bulbs. So I put it on about 4 o'clock. It's like 9 o'clock now, and it's just about bright enough. So there we go. That is my finish of Red Scissors. As you can see, the scissors at the top. I just love the little squirrels, and I just love the whole design of it. And I'm going to finish it into a drum, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish it into a drum. I think it's going to look amazing as a drum. It's stitched on a 32 count piece that I hand dyed myself, so it's just a fairly standard neutral. There's not a lot of mottling or anything in it. And I've used Silks For You red, which I will have to put the number down the bottom because I can never remember what it is. It's PR something, but then they're all PR something. And if you've not used Silks For You before, I can highly recommend them. So that's my finish. And as I said, I'm hoping to finish that into a drum. I've got another drum that I want to work on as well, which is a design of my own. So I'll probably wait and just have a bit of a drum finishing session. So there we are again. The red's quite variegated, and I stitch full cross every time, not one leg and then one leg. So my variegation is even more pronounced. The called for on this is Buckeye Scarlet, which I actually had some Buckeye Scarlet, and it really wasn't that different from the Silks For You that I used. So if you stitch like me, full cross every time using Buckeye Scarlet, you probably won't end up with anything too dissimilar to this. So there we go. That's the finish on that one. Very happy with that. I have also, let's not chuck that on that pile, let's chuck that over there somewhere else. I have also been doing quite a lot of work on my unicorn chart, which I was very graciously lent from a lady in the States, and I'm very keen to get it back to her. And that is To All a Good Night. Now I have ironed this. Let's come this way. To All a Good Night. So I have taken some liberties with the colours. which I've explained to you before, that I wasn't confident that even if I bought the Cool Fall colours it would end up looking like it does on the front of the chart, which is safe and sound behind there. Let's take that out of the bag. I'm really hoping that this is going to be getting a reprint. Really hoping. Even though I've stitched it now, I'm hoping for everybody else, because every time I show it, everyone loves it. So that's what it's called for as. So I'm not a million miles away. I changed the colour of the wording to be the colour of the roof, mainly because I like the colour of my windows, but I didn't want it to be the same colour as the wording. I wanted to have more grey in it than that kind of red. So the door is weathered barn, and then I've used a darker DMC to go round it. I've left the interior panels because what I want to do is try and find something in that same tone but maybe just a little bit lighter. So I may even use the same thread but just use one strand. So that's where I am on that one. So I'm really hoping that I might get a finish on that next week. Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. So just have a little quick drink. Right. The other thing that I've been working on is my lovely little girl, and I'm so loving stitching her at the moment. I think it's the colours, because they're I'm kind of getting into the Christmassy vibe, and she's kind of Christmassy colours because she's reds and greens. So this is Nessie. No, this isn't Nessie. Nessie's mine, Nessie. Nessie's behind there. This is Mary. Mary A.G. Small. In fact, they do have something in common. They were both Scottish. Yeah, Mary was Scottish. Even though she was born in India, she was born to a Scottish family. And East Weems is in Scotland. And my Nessie was from Kilmores. So they do have some similarities there, but that's it. It's getting a real glare off the light. So she's stitched in red and green and black. So I'm obviously using red, green and black for mine. Now I'm not sure the red's going to show up terribly well. I looked back at my video last week and I thought it was showing up quite dark, but it's not. It is a reddy red. It looks a little bit more of a plummy red there, but it is, whoops, it is a good match for the red in Mary. It is a good match for the red in Mary, but it just doesn't show quite so well on camera. I know when I take a photograph of her all finished for the front of the chart, she'll be fine. She'll look red. So that's where I am. I've done all of the standard alphabet, and then what we've got here is a couple of rows of initials, which were Mary's family, her name there, and then age 5, August, what did we say, 1863, August 1863, and then just the bottom border to finish. So I've ordered a frame for her, and I've ordered a frame for 2 other stitches as well. And I've dug those out, I'll show you those in a minute. So yeah, I cannot wait for her to be finished. She's been such a lovely, lovely stitch, and I just love the fact that she just didn't have enough space, so she just went with it. She just went with it. So this is, as I said, we're starting a couple of rows of initials, and in my research I know who most of them are. I think not all, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 that I don't know, but this here, this is her father, David Small, and if I remember correctly he's David Henry Small, and he was the army surgeon, and he was the reason she was actually born out in India. But when she's finished I will share her story with you. And I'm stitching her in 3 shades of sulky, so forgive me the threads have crossed over a little bit there. There we go. 3 shades of sulky. So you can see that red's a brighter red than it actually looks on camera. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, and I've probably put the kibosh on it now, that next week I will have finished Mary and I will have finished And To All a Good Night, just in time to get her back for Christmas, or to get To All a Good Night back for Christmas with her original owner. Let me think, while I just have got them here, let me show you the other 2 stitches that I've dug out that I've ordered frames for. So I ordered a frame for this one, which is the Hedgehog Sampler by Sheepish Designs, which, if you've been watching me for a little while, I finished earlier on this year. And the other one I've ordered a frame for is this one, the St Ives Sampler from Little Robin Designs. So as soon as they come in, I will be getting those framed up. Right, where are we now? Where are we now? It's interesting, somebody was talking about my tell. You know, all teachers have like a tell, they all have things that they say. I was saying to my technician that I said, oh, I think mine is so, as a link from sentence to sentence. So, and she was like, yeah, it is. I was like, we don't have to listen. Drop my stuff off you go. Yeah, I love my technician. She's amazing. She's got absolute skills of telepathy. Stuff that I haven't ordered actually appears ready for me to do. Practicals. Everybody needs someone like that. I imagine it's what it's like to have a wife. Right. I've had a couple of sets of Flossdrop cards, and I know I'm so behind. I've had cards that I haven't returned yet. It's just getting time to actually sit down and do them, just because it takes, there's a really fine line for UK postage of actually packing them and getting them nice and thin so that they go through at the lower rate, and I just haven't had a chance really to sit down and do it. So I haven't forgotten, and I know I have got a stack of people who've asked me on via DM on Instagram. So I've put all of those people into a special folder, and I'm just working my way through. So I will get to you, and I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. So I've got these cool ones. So this is the card, and then the same image is on the thread drops, which is my nails today. And this is from the Stitching Grotto, Michelle. Another Michelle. There's a lot of Michelles in cross stitch. There's the information there, if we can get it to focus. So these have come all the way from Florida, and I'm sure, yes, in fact I remember this lady contacted me in the very beginning, wondering what she might want to put on her floss drops, and she said that she had an image painted by her grandfather, so great grandfather. So this is her great grandfather was William Merritt Chase, a well-known American impressionist painter, and I think that is incredible. Jester, amazing. So I love those, thank you very much. And I also had a lovely card from Stacey, who is the 911 Stitcher, and we all know that these Hands Across the Sea cards are amazing because they've got a little stitch on the back, and I really like the little stitch. I could just see me stitching that just for a little frame. And she sent me a beautiful card, lovely note, and then she sent me some floss drops. Now, Stacey has produced lots and lots of different floss drops, ones that have got pictures from her stitching, pictures from her travels around the world. So these ones have got clogs on them, so you can see all the different clogs there. Probably, which is that? I'm sure it's that way. There we go. All the different clogs. Then we've got ones that have got some stitching and all sorts of thread and things on them. That looks like a reflet de soie chart on there. And then we've got, I remember these blankets that she's crocheted. Whoops. Blankets that she's crocheted. Whoops. Okay. I'd love to be able to crochet, but as far as I'm concerned, it is a dark art. I've tried lots of times, and it always just ends up in an unholy mess. Another one. This one's just her, I think, her little calling card that she pops in if she sends things out. That's the Nellies. That's a Welsh sampler. There you go, by Hands Across the Sea on the bottom there. And then Halloween ones as well, showing Halloween stitching. Have I got that the right way up? Yes, I do. There we go. So, thank you so much, Stacey. That's right, I just I was just looking at a chart and I was like, oh, what's that one? Thank you so much, Stacey, for sending me those. I will get you some in the post. I will. What else have I got? I have got a freebie, and then I've got some haul and some plans to share with you today as well. So the freebie is this little chart from La Di Da, and it's just a really simple, it would be a quick stitch. I would be very surprised if it took more than one evening to do. And I'm gonna hold it back there. Let me see if I can find an image of it being stitched, and I'll put it there if I can. If I can't, then nothing will be there. But it says, a fallen leaf is summer's wave goodbye, which I thought was just quite nice for this time of year. For us, summer wave goodbye sometime around April. And so maybe I am a bit late with this, but I know lots of people are experiencing some weather changes at the minute. But I thought that would just make a really nice little small, a little pillow, front of a needle book or something like that, just to tuck in with your display. Wouldn't take that much time and it would end up being beautiful. Nice little hanging pillow, that one, I think. So I was actually ferreting through my collection earlier thinking, shall I actually start that? Because I really quite like that one. Now, exciting. I had an email from a lady called Ruthie Taylor, and she said to me, oh, I've just started my Etsy shop with some new charts and I've attached them below. Have a look at them, see what you think. And so I get lots of people sending me things like that, and they're all fabulous. They're not necessarily all my taste, but I share them because they're somebody's taste. We don't all have the same taste, and that is the most marvellous thing about cross stitch. I was thinking actually this today while I was watching Jen Upton. Now I would say Jen and I have different tastes in cross stitch. Some things overlap, but some things are one way, some things are the other way. That doesn't matter. I still love watching her channel. I still love watching Flossability's channels when it's all full coverage. Okay, like I say, she does show other things. That's a bit too general. But at the moment, she's working on full coverage stuff, and it's not something I can do. I just can't do it. And so, but it doesn't mean I don't love watching them. So when people send me charts through and ask me to share them, I do, because even though they're not my taste, they might be somebody else's taste. But these are right in my wheelhouse. And I just think they're so clever and so nice. So what we are looking at is crow's feet stitching. So on Etsy and also on Instagram as well. And she's released 3 charts, and she's let slip that she's got 2 samplers that she's also reproduced. So I can't wait to see those as well. And I'm going to show you them. They're all festive charts, but they're beautiful. Now this one, I'm going to see how well my printing comes up. I might put another picture up. It's called Hail Smiling Morn. So you can see it's 2 angels aside a sun with a lovely holly border, and it says Hail Smiling Morn 1810. So Ruthie the charts are fabulous. They're colour charts. The threads are either DMC conversion or a mixture of Classic Colourworks, Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works. And she gives you a whole bit about the design, about where the inspirations come from, where the carols come from, what the carol actually means. So there's that one, Hail Smiling Morn. Then she's also done this one, which is called The Holly Bears the Crown. And I'm sure we're all familiar with that particular hymn. And she has also done this one. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. I am no joy-filled stitcher. And all day Ness has been singing Christmas songs in Welsh. So thankfully she has not inherited my language skills and she's taken to Welsh like a duck to water. She's brilliant, brilliant. But unfortunately she has inherited my musicality, it would sound like. Now I can't carry a tune in a tin bucket, and I think, bless her, she may be going the same way. When I was at secondary school, so about 12, I joined the choir, which, you know, you all do, you all join the choir, and we were doing a concert, and I remember the head of music asking me, can you just mime this one? So, because I was obviously so off key, and I was like, but Mum, I did like violin at primary school, I must have some kind of musical ability. And she's like, yeah, we really persuaded them to let you do violin because there were other people doing it as well, and so we kind of got you in. And I'm like, so yeah, I'm never going to be terribly musical, which is a shame, but we can't all be musical. Dear, oh dear, right. Oh dear, excuse me. I'm hoping all my lateral flow tests have been negative, but I have picked up a bit of a cough, and I did get a text message earlier on from a lady who I was sat quite close to, obviously a little bit distance apart, but quite close to, at karate on Monday, and they've just tested positive. So fingers crossed it's nothing, because my lateral flows are still clear. I've had this little bit of a cough burbling around for I think since we went back in September. So I'm really hoping that it's all nothing, and I'm pretty sure it would have started by now, because if that was Monday, and we'll see, we'll see. Right, haul. The Patchwork Rabbit Advent Calendar has arrived. So this is the 2021 Advent Calendar. Now I pre-ordered mine literally as soon as it came out, and I think Catherine said that I might have actually been one of the first ones to get my order in. It was a no-brainer. Obviously I'm not going to be showing you what's in the packages until Flossmas, but I'm just going to show you. Now I have actually crushed mine a little bit, but it came with twine and pegs, and then all of the gifts for each day are in numbered envelopes. So I shall be working out how I can adorn my how I can adorn my area with the various different packages so that I can open them one by one. So we've got things from Dames of the Needle, The Gentle Art, Kelmscott, Pantini Weeks Dye Works, Classic Colourworks, Just Another Button Company, Avera Soir, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of stuff. It does say strictly no peeking, poking, prodding, pinching, squeezing, shaking, sniffing, weighing or measuring allowed. That's okay, I can do that. I can do that. I'm starting my own advent calendar actually, come Monday. I've worked out if I buy an advent calendar, a chocolate one, and I eat like the first 2 or 3, then I can start my countdown of number of school days. So I shall be having an advent calendar on my desk, and I shall be starting at 24 and I shall be going down school days, 1 chocolate per day for see, bumbles around, until we finish. We're not finishing until like the 21st, so that's going to be hectic. It's going to be hectic, and then we go back on like the 2nd. It's really short this year, so so yeah, it's going to be fun, but it's going to be hectic. We're definitely going to try and go to the Cotswolds again this year. We that was the plan last year, and in fact pretty much all the Christmas food is still in the freezer. So yeah, we will be going to Mum's. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And I'm hoping actually to go to the Cotswolds next weekend. Just me, actually, just me, to have a nice weekend with my mum and to start getting the Christmas things in, so we get the rest of the Christmas food that hasn't survived the year in the freezer, and help her put her decorations up and things like that, because nobody likes putting their decorations up on their own, do they? So yeah, I'm hoping to have a weekend in the Cotswolds next weekend, provided this cough is just a cough. Right, haul. Let's have a look at some haul. I have got, in fact I'm going to show you this one because it's right here. So, oh please let that be my screenshot. I'm going to right, crazy. So I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and there was a woman selling 5 vintage frames. They're all very similar to this. This is the smallest one, and in fact the other 4 are much bigger. They all had glass except for this one, but I'm not so fussed on the glass. And they are all for vintage frames in really good condition. In fact, I would say this is the newest of the frames. The rest of them are proper vintage frames, much bigger, so I could actually get them cut down and remade into smaller frames, but she wanted 30 quid for all of them, so complete bargain. My head of year, they were quite a long way away from me, but my head of year lives down that way, down towards the Netley way, and she very kindly picked them up for me one day on her way home. So yeah, it was amazing. I'm super blessed with him. Super pleased with them, because frames can be expensive, and I've just ordered, as I said, I've just ordered 3 frames from Picture Frame Express, I think, which actually again Lauren from Flossabilities recommended on her last FlossTube. So I will let you know as soon as they come what they're like. So yeah, what else have we got? Little pile of haul and some plans. So this Rosada Featherstone. Now the quick-witted amongst you will be shouting, "You showed us that last week." I know. This is something I've ordered. So for Christmas, I hinted at a kit that I would like, and I hinted so far as to send him the link and then order it. So I've ordered a sampler kit from Mitten in Canada, and I also saw a post the other day which said about Amy Mitten had started doing her own hand-dyed silk packs for certain of the Hands Across the Sea charts. So I reasoned, quite reasonably, if I was ordering she calls them her forgeries, so they come with the chart, the threads and the fabric. If I was ordering that, then I might as well just add to my order. So I did. I added the threads for Ada Featherstone, Rose Ada Featherstone, and I ordered the threads also for, is it Harriet Goddard, I think, the very long thin one. So I can't wait to try those threads. I'm going to put a picture up of the sampler that I've ordered up there, because it's a really special one. It's the only one I've ever seen from Cardigan. so I couldn't wait to get hold of that one. And it's for one of the, I can't remember the name of the girl, somebody Davis, I'll put it along the bottom, but the proprietor of, or her mistress, her governess, whatever you want to call it, was Mrs. Matthias, and Matthias is actually a name that's still very common around this parts. Nessa's karate teacher, his surname's Matthias, so yeah, it's lovely. So that will be my Christmas Day start, provided it gets here in time. It should do. I ordered a couple of charts from eBay. I ordered this Lizzie Kate one, which is called Tiny Tidings. Oh, I've got to work it out now. 19. Tiny Tidings 19, I think. Chart number 167, and I just really like those little cute ones. I like them like that, but I have such trouble finishing them like that. I find it really hard to do those flat ones. They're just not my jam, but I need to practice, and practice I will. So it came with a few little beads and some leftover buttons, but I'm not too worried about those. I also ordered Wintertide Friends. Now this is because I've been watching Alba Stitcher, and she's been finishing the Blackbird design stockings, and I really like the little stockings. So these are by Plum Street Samplers, but they are two lovely little stockings, and I thought they would look really cute. So I grabbed them because they were a good price as well. I bought, I'd mentioned this last week, I bought the Caterpillar cross stitch Deck the Halls, and I will put a picture of it up there, and I said I wanted to do it on the blue, the vintage blue. So that's the vintage blue. So I got this from eBay. There's a seller on eBay that I've used before on there, Fiona. Again, I'll put the contact information down below. But they come from Florashell Needlecrafts, and they always have a really good stock of Zweigart stuff. So I'll add them down below, and you can go and have a look. But yeah, like I said, I've never actually ordered from the shop. I've always ordered my stuff just from eBay. I picked up this one on a little D-stash, and this is called Count Your Blessings, Stitch Them One by One, which I really like. Love the colours in that one. It's not too big actually. How big is it? 98 by 110. So looking forward to get to that one. Managed to get myself one of these, and then was pleasantly surprised to find that inside it's all DMC, which is great, because the one that she did for Halloween, which was called Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee, was Fancy Floss, but this one is all DMC. So I shall be ordering myself the DMC for this one, and there's 6 little charts, seven little charts. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 2 others. That's one of them, the little house. There's also a recipe for popcorn balls, and I think that's the other one. Yeah, that's the other one. Christmas is starting to creep up. It's going to be December soon. That's bonkers. That's bonkers. Do you remember back in January, February, we thought this year was never going to end, and now it seems to have just gone shoo. Now I'd seen this advertised. Well, not advertised, but I've just seen it around a couple of times on Facebook, and I think it was Facebook adverts and Instagram adverts and things like that, and I really liked it. And it's called Lady Halloween by Jardin Prive. and there's just something about her. I think it's to do with the fact that she looks quite similar to one of the characters, one of the witches in and a book that Ness has got. And we like reading Winnie the Witch and Mrs. Black Hat and all those sorts of books, so I think it's that. There's only 3 colours, so there's a black, a dark grey and a light grey. But I think I'm going to do her on this fabric. I'm going to itchy nose. I think I'm going to do her on this fabric that I bought a couple of weeks ago that I showed you last week, just because I think the colours would look really nice. It's either that or I've got a yellowy piece by XD Designs. So I had a green, where's my green version of it? I haven't got it here. I had a greenish piece called Elixir, and I've got that in kind of a yellowy colour as well, so I wondered whether she might look quite nice on the yellow, but that's a decision for later. I was going to say I won't be starting any new Halloween projects soon, but who knows, I may well. I may very well. Right, is that everything? I feel like I've missed something. I have missed something. Readly. Just a reminder, Readly have never done such a good offer before, and it is only open to people in the UK, I'm afraid, but they have never done such a good offer before, whereby if you use the link that I've put in the description box below, you can get a free month, and then if you choose to subscribe, which is harder to say than it should be, then it's £7.99 a month, but you get a £20 Amazon voucher. So they've never done such a good deal. So if you fancy that, it is a brilliant app. I really like it, mainly because of the back issues. I think that's an absolute game changer to have all the back issues. And I also think, for me, I love lots of things in the cross-stitch magazines, but I probably only like one thing in the magazine. Or sometimes there's nothing I fancy. And so by just paying per month, I can have a look through, and if I find something I like, then great, stitch it. If there's not something I like that month, then it's not a problem really. So you've got just cross stitch, World of Cross Stitching, you've got Cross Stitcher, you've got English language, you've got French, you've got German, all sorts of stuff, and you get 5 different profiles as well. So all the family can have their own magazines. So I know I harp on about it, but it is really good. It is really good, and I know a lot of people have commented to me and said that they found Readly through me, and it's been a saver, a money saver for them, and the family have really enjoyed it. So it could be a Christmas present to the whole family. Right, plans. It's time. It is time to start this, the social call. So this was a gift from a lovely lady called Mary. She sent it all the way over to me from the States when this was really hard to find in the UK. I know that Chris at the Nimble Thimble has since managed to get her hands on some copies of it, so you can always try her. And I was having a little bit of a fabric crisis again. I'd bought some of this, which is a 30 count pecan shortbread by Legacy Linen, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, do I want something a little bit more coloured, but what colour do I go for? I even, and please feel free to comment, let me know, I even wondered about using the other half of that, because it's not that big. It's big if you stitch it on 10 count, which is what it's called for on, but it wouldn't be big on this. So, am I crazy? Am I crazy? Let me know what you think. My other thought was I have some 32 count Zweigart sweet pea, and so I wondered whether this might be quite good, or is it too green? Do I need to stay away from green and go for a different background? So I don't know. The other one that I thought was Zweigart Mint Splash. You know, you can get the pale blue one with the little white flecks on it. I did wonder about that. So I might think about that. I think I might have a piece of that. So help me. What do you think? Can I use either of those two pieces? Or do I need something different? Let me know. But I do want to start him. I think maybe that mint splash might be a good call. Might see if anybody's got any of that. Right, I'm into the territory of waffling now. So I'm going to say cheerio. I hope you stay happy and healthy. I hope I stay healthy this week. I'm sure it'll be fine. And I will see you next week. Stay classy, Stitchers.